And yes, welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast, people. My name is Kosi. How are you guys doing? We are back again with another big story, transfer story to discuss. Odsonne Eduoard yet again linked with Arsenal, and this time it has been confirmed that Arsenal will be making the move. Actually, not will be making the move. I want to be very, very clear and precise. We have made the move for Odsonne Eduoard. In the first place, he was offered to us. In the second place, now we have taken the bait. So Arsenal, basically, this video is all about Arsenal taking the bait. Smash the like button, people, and tell me where you're watching from. Get yourself subscribed to the channel because the transfers are coming on. And if you don't want to miss any transfer story about around Arsenal, subscribe, smash the like button, and hit that notification bell so that whenever we do upload, you're the first person to get that message and look at what is Arsenal doing in the transfer market. But of course, don't forget, I have reviews, I have previews for every match Arsenal play. That is all about Arsenal, and that's all about the Arsenal's because it's Arsenal podcast. So let's begin with the perfect story, how it was outlined there by the transferpodcast.com, that are now Arsenal have taken the bait. They have made contact to sign the man himself, Odsonne Eduoard, 20 years of age, French striker, been playing with Celtic, or he is playing with Celtic. They signed him from PSG for 9 million, and now they are about to make around 11 million or 12 million if they actually succeed on that deal, because it looks like they want around 22 million pounds. The initial figure that was started was 15 million, and of course I thought that would be an easy one to do, but still, with the quality of the player, I still think Arsenal should pay the 22 million. What do you think about Odsonne Eduoard, by the way, before I go into my opinion and discussion? What do you think about Arsenal signing Odsonne Eduoard? Because what I think is it's beyond reasonable doubt that we shall sign a striker. Like my instincts, and I know it's ridiculous, all the time to trust your instincts, but my instincts really do tell me that we shall actually get a striker in this summer. Whether it's Odsonne Eduoard or Patson Daka or Ole Watkins, I don't care, but I know we shall get a striker because Alexander Lacazette has just confirmed that he doesn't want to stay at the club. He wants to leave. So probably Arsenal now have to think about replacing him. Don't talk about Balogun as a potential replacement. I want a professional striker outsourced in the market. And now news are saying that Arsenal have made contact for Odsonne Eduoard. Now, what I think about this deal, is pretty simple. It's a very easy deal to do. One, Celtic are finding themselves in a very, very bad financial situation. I think everything is going so wrong, and if you're a Celtic fan, you're like a Bayern Munich fan, you're like a Juventus fan, you're like a Barcelona fan. You used to be up there. You used to be on top of everything, whether it's the transfer market in your country, whether it is winning the titles, whether it is Celtic is creme de la creme in Scotland. And by the fact that they are having such shit of a season, what they're gonna do is try to pull some money and reinvest in the squad. And one of the things they have to do is get deals done by selling players. And I think Odsonne Eduoard is one of the best talents they have to sell. I think they will also sell Ryan Christie this season. He's a very, very remarkable midfielder, but they might be a little bit disappointed. He might actually leave as well. So I think they need to sell players first and foremost. And the advantage in this deal, one, is now Arsenal know they need a striker. We need a striker. That is very clear. But also, on top of wanting a striker, this is a deal that is happening naturally. Celtic want money. They have a striker. Arsenal need a striker, and Arsenal are not going to spend 50 million on a striker. They need a player around 22 million, and Celtic are offering that player in Odsonne Eduoard, who's been consistent enough for the last 3-4 seasons, scoring 20 goals plus. What else do you need? I think if we fail to pull off this deal, because however much we want to take our time in negotiation and so on, and we are very poor at negotiations, everybody knows that, as poor as Manchester United in negotiation, I think we are on that level. But it's not going to be without competition. Yeah, it is March, and it would be very nice to see Arsenal do a deal this early. But you know how Arsenal really delay their deals. It's never going to be straightforward. Arsenal pay 15 million or 22, and the deal is done, and we wait for the unveiling of Odsonne Eduoard in the summer. No, it's never going to be like that. What is actually going to happen is Arsenal are going to make contact like we have, and then take 8 million. First and foremost, that's the way we do our business. You take 8 million on a player who is rated at 22 million, and you're going to be and the offer is going to be bounced. Then you go back with 12 million, and the offer is bounced, and finally Spurs are going to come with 17 million and take the player. But I think this is one of the deals that could be very easy for Arsenal to do. And I'm not being very optimistic, or I'm not trying to persuade Arsenal into buying Odsonne Eduoard, because I rate him a lot, and everybody knows that on this show by now. That is one of the strikers I rate. I rate him more than I rate Patson Daka. But the first question is, Arsenal going to put money on the table? Because the should is answered. Yeah, we should buy Odsonne Eduoard. We should put money on the table. But are we going to put that money on the table? For me, the answer is it's tricky. Very, very tricky. Arsenal is a very tricky club. Mikel Arteta did say in his press conference, and I'm really, really sorry that I'm speaking about bits of his press conference before we can actually look at it in length. But he did say that our transfer summer is already planned. You know what that means? Yeah, that means that the players that are gonna come and the players that are gonna leave are already stipulated. Now, I don't think that is true. Because look, okay, maybe we have our targets on paper, but we don't know how sure are we that we are going to actually get these deals done. Because for me, I feel this is going to be a very intense transfer window where you have to sign players through a lot of competition. Look, last season or last summer, PSG didn't do business, if you did realize. They didn't do business. Real Madrid didn't do business, and Barcelona didn't do business as well. And of course, the answers were very clear. It's because of the COVID-19 financial crisis that had been created around the financial rooms of all these clubs. Arsenal did some good business, and I'm going to rate it well because of the COVID-19 thing, bringing in Thomas Partey and Gabriel Magalhaes. I think that was good business. But I think this is a transfer window where you have to take your chances as soon as possible. It is a blessing that you have a player like Odsonne Eduoard at that amount, 22 million. It's just a blessing. Very young, very promising, very consistent. You can say all the good terms you want. He fits in there as a striker. And it's happening at a time when Alexander Lacazette is leaving. So what you have to do is bargain for 30 million in Alexander Lacazette, which might be very, very hard because he is in his last year of his contract. But if you can bargain around 25 to 30 million from the Alexander Lacazette deal, then get 15 or 17 or actually 10 and put it on the table of Celtic and promise to pay them in installments until the deal is done. They're not going to refuse that money. They want money. It's the same statement I made 5 months ago, 6 months ago when we were chasing Houssem-Aouar, and I said there is no way you can fail to sign Houssem-Aouar from Lyon, because Lyon is a club that survives on selling their best talent per season. And Jean-Michel Aulas knew, and he said it very clear, that we are a club that survives by selling our best talent. And you know what? Yeah, Arsenal went there trying to play games and trying to create scenes in the media, how Houssem-Aouar refused to sign, how the agent. The point was just easy. Lyon want money. They hadn't sold any player in that transfer window, and they had actually signed what you would call a possible replacement of Houssem-Aouar from AC Milan. So it was clear: get money, put it on the table of Lyon, and get Houssem-Aouar. And that's why I told you that I expected that deal to be a little bit easy. easier than the Thomas Partey deal. The Partey deal was you have 45 million, a release clause that you have to trigger, and that is easy as that. Of course, that was, that made it simpler. But why I thought the Hausamoa deal was easy was you're looking at a club, you're dealing with a club that was desperate at the time. You were dealing with a club that was, that knew its financial situation was not good enough. They had to sell a player. They had not qualified for Champions League because their league had ended prematurely, decided by a points by rating, system, which I do not understand at all, even up to now, why French football didn't play until the end. But Arsenal decided not to go for that deal, and we suffered for the first half of the season because of that. You have Thomas Partey trying to fit in, but you don't have creativity. All the players are passing the ball backwards. Everyone is passing the ball sideways. Why? Because Mikel Arteta actually asked for Hausamoa, and we failed to deliver. Now, this is another opportunity. This is another easy deal. The Odsonne Eduoard deal, very easy. Celtic want money. Arsenal have the little money Celtic want. Just trigger that. Just trigger it. So by saying we have made contact, for me that's not enough. That's not something that I can jubilate upon, because Arsenal have made contact with over 1 million players, 2 million agents. But things never seem to go through. It's always like whenever we make contact, we relax. So of course I've seen sorry for that. I've seen a little bit of change between the old management and the new management in terms of dealing with transfers, especially in the last window, the January transfer window. I was a little bit impressed. I'm gonna be honest. I was a little bit impressed, though we didn't bring in quality, but we let some of the quality that was dreadful leave. Let Ozil go, let Socrates go, let Mustafi go. That was good business. Now, if we can let players like Granit Xhaka leave, Lacazette leave, El Neni leave, because the truth is, El Neni is not even a squad player for a club like Leicester City. He's not. You can't sit El Neni on the bench of Leicester City, like you say when Ndidi gets injured, we have El Neni. He can't back him up. And if he can't back up Ndidi, how can he back up Partey? It's ridiculous. So I think this is gonna be a window where we have to let some players go, and it's gonna be really a little bit hurting for players like Lacazette. They've been at this club for the past 3-4 years. Xhaka has been at this club for the past 3-4 years. Has seen managements of Arsene Wenger, managements of Unai Emery, and managements of Arteta, but I still think it's time to go. Now, there are rumors that David Luiz is going to get a new contract, and this is where I get disappointed. We are talking about building a new team, and you're talking about giving David Luiz a new contract. Because I agree the season has been absolutely good, very good, and he's just on the hearts of many Arsenal fans. We have taken long without seeing him give such a performance, so but still I think he needs to leave. We need to give the Saliba a chance. Why did we sign Saliba? We need to give the Rob Holdings a chance to show that they can either be relied on in that defense or leave, because for me, if Rob Holding doesn't click up, then you're gonna sell him for some good money, because he's just signed a new contract. So I don't agree with Luiz, but anyway, let's see how things will be rolling around or rolling about in the summer. Like I promised, I'll talk about Tariq Lamptey, but when I come back, I'll speak about Mikel Arteta's press conference. Try to react to it. It's long. I've seen it's really long. I don't know why. I don't know, but I'll try to react to it. Then we shall talk about Tariq Lamptey, because when Fabrizio Romano speaks, I can't just give that a deaf ear.